Okay, everybody, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Today is January 9, 2025. We're here to discuss township business. If you have any questions or need any information from the township, please see Julia. We are recording tonight. We will probably have this on the website within the next couple of weeks. You have to excuse my voice. I've been talking all day, so see if we can get through. First order of business is approval of minutes. We have 3 of them from 12/17 for special meeting. 12/27 was a special meeting, and 12/27 was our organization meeting. So. Stand up for the pledge, please. Mr. Gannon, will you read this?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we do have 3 sets of minutes. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes? So, first set of minutes is from 12/17, which was our special meeting. Anybody have any questions or additions, subtractions? If not, I will entertain a motion.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes. Second set of minutes is 12/27, which was a special meeting as well. Any additions, subtractions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Stand ready, please.
Second.
John? Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Last set of minutes was for an organizational meeting held on December 27th as well. Same goes for the Millers. For my additions and corrections, entertain a motion.
That's kind of separate meeting.
Yes, it-
Yeah, we adjourned it. And then we did
Oh.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Suspend reading, please.
I'll second
John?
Yes.
Sue?
it. Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
I don't need it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
fiscal officer report.
Okay, we are heading to the end of February, and we will need the end of the year done at the end of February, so we're working hard on the 2020 numbers for the state and for First County. And it looks like the other things I have, you have in your notes. The Chevy River. That is all I have. Just working hard, attention to the issue.
Great. That's good news.
Refreshing to hear.
Yes, it is. Any
Make
questions?
a, no. Any questions for Julie?
No.
I'll make a motion to accept the fiscal officer report.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Very good. Get on to officials' reports. Cemetery 6 is not available today. Custodian report, Tim Bennett is here. Hi, Tim.
Hi. Busy over at the school. Got something there every night. A lot of mopping going on. With the baseball Monday night, scouts Tuesday night, soccer Wednesday, soccer Thursday. I got and there's a dinner there tomorrow night. But they couldn't set up tables. I got to go mop as soon as the practice is done tonight, so then they'll set up their tables tomorrow. And then scouts are there for a dinner on Saturday night, so after their dinner tomorrow night, then I'll have to go mop again tomorrow night and then give them the scouts the keys so they can go in there Saturday. So it's been busy over there. So, there's a tile that came out on the floor right when you walk in the kitchen. And the Boy Scout guy, Scott, took a picture and sent it to me. And I'd like to get it back down. I don't know what glue or compound to use for that though. So
Which tile was it? Was it the new tile in the kitchen, or was it the old tile button up to it?
the old tile, like one row.
Any kind of adhesive.
Oh, so just go to the hardware store. And, okay.
Talking about the white square tile.
The gray.
Yeah. Yeah. Not what's in
That's
the
the
kitchen.
kitchen. It's the part of the gym.
Part of the gym. Yeah.
Yes.
They make a spray for that, that's pretty good.
Spray adhesive.
Yeah, it's a spray adhesive, you spray it, mask out the floor and spray that, you're done.
Oh,
It works pretty good.
it's like 3M or something?
I do believe.
I don't remember what it is. You get it from Home Depot.
Oh, okay. There's not any more tile over there, is there anymore?
There may be.
Yeah.
There may be.
Downstairs.
Because there's that square of 4 over by the chalkboard, I'd fix that.
Is that tile broke?
No,
Just came up.
no,
Tim, I'll take a peek.
okay. Do you want me to get the adhesive or not? Wait for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then if that works, if there's some downstairs somewhere, I'll fix the 4 that are over by the chalkboard.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Fair enough. Everything else okay?
Yes, yeah.
Do you like the way it's arranged in here now?
Oh,
Make it a little easier for you.
yeah.
Any questions for Tim? Susan? Anything else, Tim?
I think that's it.
Thank you. I got a couple things for insurance. You want to wait till you want to go right now? So how are we doing with salt?
Salt, we're low. We're low. He's got orders. So,
Some more. Yeah, you just told me today.
Yeah.
We did the one order, and he's getting ready to order some more.
we got to put the house in now, so.
Well, when he told me that, I'm like, well, I don't know that excess.
It might be one of those years, where you keep on getting a couple inches, a couple inches, a couple inches.
Right, the guys been really hustling.
They've done a nice job this time around.
So number two, Matt, while we're on the subject of roads, we do have a road levy coming up. We were talking a little bit about increasing the road levy. So I've been a trustee for quite a long time. We've never, as far as I know, we haven't raised that levy for many, many years. Well, hold on one second. Mark, when you were a trustee, did you ever raise the levy?
The only thing that we did is we did a replacement.
Yeah, but that was in,
It wasn't an increase, it was just a replacement, so based on the new evaluations, it increased the income.
Right, I just think that it's time that we reevaluate that, whether it's going to be a replacement or an additional. We've done everything we can in this township to get the grants which we have through the state of Ohio, the matching funds. But when you have the matching funds, it also takes away from your general budget for roads. Okay, so we did Allen Road, Bowen Road. 2 years ago, we did Pioneer Trail from Mantua Center to Peck this past year. And that was what's that, 150,000, 125,000, something like that. Yeah.
Did we do something at Hart? Samuel Drive and all those?
Yeah, that was a chip and seal.
Yeah.
We did. But anyhow, long story short, I don't think we're going to be in the grant fund this year, so we'll have to do our general chip and seal. Okay, so that being said, if we could find out, Julia, to the auditor, what, if we replace that levy, what it would bring in, and then if we did like a small 4% or 0.5% increase.
Okay.
Because really, we need to try to pave one of the other roads every year. To get the chip and seal to replace that one asphalt.
not only that, Matt, if you ride the roads, this weather is really starting to pop a lot of holes, and so I'd like to see the figures before I go ahead
Yes.
and agree to that, so if we can get that.
I do.
Excuse me, John. Remember, they did the reappraisals.
Yeah.
So,
So
based on the replacement,
you'll get that.
it's going to be in
That's why I said
more
more
than
than that
that
first.
what it was for the reappraisals.
Good point. All right, so that should clear up the roads.
Yes. Yep.
Zoning inspector is here today. 96% of
I just kidding.
Two-thirds of it. We had 42 permits for 2024. Many phone calls, still getting many real estate appraisers, property classifications. Some people sell, same with hiring, they sell guns from home, and the ATF calls and make sure there's no problems whatsoever of any kind of zoning violation before they renew your license. So everything's been good with anybody that he has mentioned. So I got some letters back, or talked to the prosecutor finally. Some letters went out in regard to a few things. Toothman, he says that he's had that mechanic business there, and we're trying to find out, prosecutors to find out if it's non-conforming in any way, if there was a conditional hearing to have that, because it gives us a little more teeth. I have the zoning commission looking into that. Also asking the zoning commission, you might have seen it, maybe we can change or redo our resolution book, kind of like what Hiram does. It's when you have the resolution right next to it as when it was amended, because we're having a hard time. We have to go back through other ones or minutes to find, what's not conforming or not. It's going to take time up front, but we can do that and keep up on it. It will be helpful.
When he called me, I asked him, he said, we've been through this before. And I asked him, I said, well, do you remember when that was? He said, no. They said, I could probably try to find a paper.
Yeah, I don't see anything that allows in our code for unpaid vehicles. Yeah, I already sent Scotty Shopping for the same thing. It wasn't challenged, so I'm working with Brett on it, so we'll see what happens there. And again, changing the resolution, I'll work with the zoning commission to see if we can do something like it. It's very helpful. Dollar General, they got their letter from the prosecutor. The people who own it or in charge now, want no problems whatsoever. We're going to start with the awnings. And imagine what they didn't see if they were up yet, they just come past there. I told Brown will be fine, whatever you have. You know, they said they can't comply with anything. Got the guy's name, what's his name, have his number. He's going to follow up with me, he said to follow up with him, whatever needs to be done. Pass them down. I need to say, the audience, anybody wants to run Michelle's. Yeah, Michelle as well. In other news, it doesn't really affect me here, but I got some things going on in Hiram and in Wyndham. And Joe Bowden, our equipment building department.
That explains a little something, right?
We got some discussion on that coming up.
Randy Roberts is interim. I asked Commissioner Bennett.
Wait a minute. What? Randy Roberts
Just
is
back to interim, because I asked Commissioner Bennett, I texted her today and said, you know, we had a lot of jobs going on, Joe's gone, we was really quick, Randy Roberts for now, again.
You know why that?
He wouldn't tell me where he was going, he said, only my wife knows. And I imagine it's a little
fair enough.
a little higher up.
Yeah, something.
That's his decision to make. That's his decision to make.
Yep, I told him to keep my number, we're always good friends, work well together. But, so if you have any correspondence, you need building department, hopefully Randy's able to help us in the interim. I'm not sure what they're going to do.
I have news on that coming up.
Okay.
Not particularly for him, for the building.
Sure.
But go ahead.
That's okay. A lot of roads traveled. Seen some things, some possible future issues. I never heard anything more about the lady who rents out here, who got the commercial going on. The dad was going to take the report. He wanted to get his son a sign for his business. I'm like, well, I'm just glad you called me because you can't. There's no business allowed there. So it's going to go straight to their right if this happens any further. So other than that, just keeping up on everything else that I have on my watch list.
Good job, Richard. I got a couple of things.
Okay.
State Route 44 at the barn, that's not a barn anymore. How long is that going to be?
The pile?
Yeah.
I knew it. We talked about that, and I will find out.
I mean, what was his violation? Was he supposed to take it down and just leave it down? Or
Well,
take it down and get
the
it out?
violation is probably simply raise it and not get rid of it at this point.
Well, there's some people that are interested in those beams, they can take it out. And I gave that guy the contact information that you gave me, so I don't know where that's going. It's only been a couple weeks. There was a guy interested in cleaning that up.
I think I have the email from the gentleman. He wouldn't put me in the loop for some reason, but I think Brett put us in the loop. Or I did go to Joe. And I'll ask him what's going on.
So yeah, I agree with that. You think there's a lot of people who look at that barn site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's up in West Mantua.
Yeah, probably valuable. Or that's what we do.
One more. The house on 82, Dollhouse.
What was I doing? I don't know, something.
Did they sell that, or is there?
Why do I think it was going for sale? I did contact someone. I pulled back there, took some pictures, discussed it, I believe. See a pile of crates out there. I'll look into that again. I did, I can't remember what it was.
I only asked because I'm being asked.
Well, no, it's valid.
Any questions for Rich? No. Good job as always, sir.
Oh, thank you. You'll get better.
I'll pick the name up.
You'll get better. You can.
You hold it up for a reason?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it down in front. I can take my pulse without even touching that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Zoning Commission report. No one here from the Zoning Commission. Chamber of Commerce report. Carol did send an email out, said that she had engagement, and that January 20th, the Chamber is having a member-only meeting starting at 5 o'clock at the Route 44 Coffee House, 5 p.m. And then after that, everybody is to proceed to Jake's for dinner at 6. So that's the report for the Chamber members. Okay. I think that's it. For Sexton, we have the charts from Pearson. She finally gave us those big charts for the plotting. I'll bring those in. I'd like to get one of them laminated. Okay. That being said, we'll go to trustee business. Trustee report, new business. We did have our organizational meeting. Everything basically stayed the same. We will ask Matt and Susan if they're happy with their committees. Matt, you still want to be well? Susan, you okay with building and governance?
Unless anyone of you guys want.
Okay, and I will stay with constitution. So, the governor signed the new House Bill 315. A lot of it had to do with township omnibus. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I gave everybody a copy. Some of the things are very good for us. Public notice requirements now. You do not have to put your legal notices in the paper anymore. You can do everything on the website. The reason being is because a lot of small communities, their newspapers don't reach everybody.
Or won't.
Like the Kent Record Courier, I don't know how many people will get the Kent Record Courier.
Anymore.
So if we spend $200 if we have a zoning commission meeting or something like that, you will not have to do that. Now you can put it in the on the website.
Any special meeting?
Yes.
Any zoning meetings? Anything? Well, that's helpful.
So here's what it says. It says that Ohio law requires townships to publish public notices in a paper general circulation within the township. Unfortunately, with the closure of many newspapers and reduced circulation of others, it has become increasingly difficult and expensive for townships to publish public notices, which is everything, right? HB 315 will permit townships to post public notices on the township website, social media account, or the state's public notice website, rather than in a newspaper. This provision will give townships parity to municipalities, given this authority in HB 33. So, that's very good for us. We don't have to spend that money anymore. Another portion of
What about the zoning building on BZA?
yeah, they'll start sending
So,
them
just so,
to me and I'll send them.
yeah, right there we
Another point, it establishes authority to create a preservation committee. So that's something we might want to look into for the township to have a preservation committee. And that will help in eligible to participate in certified local government, carry out historic preservation activities, and give townships access to donations to those grants. So that's a good thing. So here's the one which you would want.
Right.
In that bill, it alters how zoning citations are issued and enforced. So now, current law, 51599 of the Ohio Revised Code states that a person who violates township zoning shall be fined not more than $500 for each offense. HB 315 keeps the dollar amount but clarifies that a zoning citation is now a civil fine and establishes a process for issuing a township zoning citation. And that will be done by the sheriff's department. So you don't have to issue anybody. The sheriff can actually go to the violator, present them with a citation. So,
So it's a deputy attorney, doesn't he?
right, so no, we can't say. So, I talked to Chad about that, and Chad said that we will have to contact, I'm sure, yeah, we'll be able to, the sheriff's office, and I think that they're going to charge us a fee. I mean, we don't do that all the time, right? It's not that we do it 10 times a year.
And what they do is they don't send a clerk out, is what they'll send.
No, they send an officer out. It says that,
Really?
police department,
Yeah, well, maybe they'll give more attention.
Yeah.
The letters back and forth, wait for the prosecutor. That's interesting.
yeah. So, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah. We probably should get that in zoning resolution, shouldn't we? So it doesn't conflict any $100 a day.
I won't go through the majority of them, but I'll just do the general. So it also clarifies general fund money to be used for roads. It also provides grant funding to modernize zoning regulations and processes. So you can actually use that to apply for a grant to pay for the land use plan, which is very good. Of course, it reinstates the indigent burial reimbursement. We don't use that a lot.
What will they reimburse, 1,000?
I think ours is 1,500.
1,500.
Okay.
So if everybody would take some time and read through that, I think you'd find it interesting and it would help the township out a lot.
John, can you email me that?
I can, sure. Absolutely. You want the entire copy?
That's fine.
No, it's not. Here's 10 pages.
Right, no, that's fine.
Okay. I will do that. Okay. Since we're on change of occupancy permit. On February 1st, 2025, our change of occupancy permit is expired. We have not been serviced properly with them. We've tried and tried and tried. So, I approached Chad Murdoch, and he told me that, and he's kind of upset because they never answered his letter as well. So he told me that we should consider what they call writ of mandamus. And what that is it tells the court that a legal body is not doing their jobs correctly, and that they should get involved and ask them questions why we're not getting proper service. We can't afford to have this permit expire. I mean, we worked hard on it, and we're still waiting. So what the mandamus law states that a court order that commands a government official or entity to perform an act that is legally required to perform as part of its official duties or to refrain from performing an act the law forbids it from doing. So years ago, we were laxed on our public records request. And an individual in the township got a writ of mandamus, and the courts didn't call us. They were nice about it. And they said, hey, got to get this done.
So Joe, I'd like to entertain.
I'd like your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd like to entertain you. I think that, seeing how we have a changing in the guards with Randy being back, I think we should have either Randy come out here, like what you call it, and have a conversation with him and tell him what Joe was gonna do. And ask him if you do that and let him know that that permit is going to expire February 1st. And he can talk to Joe and Joe will tell him
He should,
what he was going to do.
yeah. I hate to disagree with you because I don't. We've been more than fair. We're not, they owe us they owe us this permit. This has been a year. It's already going on the second week of February.
Right, but I say it goes down either way. If that expires February 1st, we have to have contact with them before that expires, if they give them a chance to renew it.
We've had contact with the building department.
I know, but with Randy, we have. I think personally we owe him the opportunity to make it right before we proceed in any proceedings. That's my opinion.
Well, let me disagree with you, because I have discussed this with Randy before in the past. And Randy was the one who was instrumental in changing our permit from
What it is now to storage.
right, so I think we should just let the courts, it's not like we're suing them.
No,
Because the court's going to call them
I get it.
and say, look, these guys have been waiting a year, let's get the permit.
And so give him a chance, an opportunity to make it right, that's all. See how he's coming in there. It may be getting done a lot faster this way than it is to go through the courts. But you know how that works. But hey, that's why we have 3 board members, we can take a vote.
I make a motion, we have Chad Murdoch, let's see how we have Chad Murdoch establish a writ of mandamus to have the building department perform on our permit.
I don't agree. I think that we should at least email Randy Roberts to ask him for.
Okay, then one of you guys need to call, or
I will.
I would suggest that you send an email
To Randy.
and copy
And,
us.
and I'd like to copy Joe as well. Even though he's no longer there. He's the one that said what he was going to do.
And give him a week, and then after that, then I would say, then you take.
Yeah, and Commissioner Sherman.
You know, if this permit expires, there's nothing that you can do.
John, that's what I'm saying. Because I don't think that you're gonna get him to do that in a timely fashion. If you think he'll do it by February 1st, that's fine. But I don't think you'll have any time to do that.
Yes, you will. So deal with the-
How long will
This
it
is,
take to get into the
so it's going to send them a writ of mandamus, and they're going to call them and say, look,
Yeah. Fast.
anyway, now, we've been more than fair. I mean, well, if that permit expires, it's expired.
Okay, but John, here's what I'm saying. I don't know if it'll get into the courts quick enough, is what I'm saying. He's got to be mandated by the court. I don't know if he'll, even whether Chad does, I don't know if he'll have enough time to get it there, to get a decision by February 1st. That's what I'm,
I would think that this would be just better, as good or better,
only both.
good or better, that he would send that, because he would send that to Randy as well, and say, listen, I got to file a writ of mandamus. It doesn't mean that you're going to court
No, I know.
or you're suing anybody.
Right.
But it's like, come on, you guys.
But I'm saying, I don't know if it'll get to them by February. Would you say February 1st expires? I don't know if I've been told that.
Well, you have to get inspections and all kinds of stuff. I know, it's never gonna
So,
happen.
okay, I'll tell you what, up at Happy Hour, why don't we do both? Why don't we talk to Randy? Okay, and we can still proceed with that.
I make a motion that we do both.
Second.
You will speak to Randy and I.
Yeah.
Let Chad know what our discussion
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
and have him act the way he wants. Sue, you okay with that?
Sure.
John?
I need a second.
Oh, you?
Yeah, I do, second.
Matt. John?
Yes,
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
thanks, man. Okay.
That way we're covered either way. Maybe he can.
Yes.
He can
And
give us a
I
temporary.
just don't want to run out of time.
I know.
School lane property.
Yes.
The school lane property.
Yep.
I would like, I think we discussed that we would like to get a survey done. So you okay with survey?
Why do we need the survey?
You should have a little description.
And then I also want you to know that the township offices, the zoning inspector and the fiscal office will be occupying that new space over at the school lane property. That will be new offices for the township. We plan on having that done by the middle to the end of January. Okay?
Good job, John. That is cool.
I make a motion. I'll make a motion to have the offices established at the new property.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes. For the record with that, John, I spoke with Valerie, which was Kathy's sister. She said that she is authorizing, I haven't got the email yet, but authorizing the township to go in and discard all the property. Okay. Essentially, she wants the wood burner to go to Roger, the neighbor, okay? And I said we would help get that out of there, and put it wherever he wants to put it. Anyhow, she also said anything that Roger wanted, he could have. I said, well, there's things that the girls wanted. She said, that's no problem. The chairs and whatever, the desk and all the stuff that she has. She had no problem with that, but I said, you have to give me authority to do that. So you have to give me an email. I haven't got the email yet unless it went to Stan. So,
I also checked, I talked to Chad today about giving them the 100, our agreement, we're trying to do 100 this year.
right.
And he's not involved in it anymore, so I have Valerie's number, and I'm gonna call her and see who we make the check out to.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's the Kathy and Kelly Trust.
Yeah, it is.
We're
Sure.
using
I just wanted to confirm it before I wrote it.
Yeah.
We're using the art money.
Yes.
Yeah.
right,
So
so-
that being said, that reality is basically out, and we are, there's not that much stuff in there. So,
Yeah. So John made a motion, Sue second. Let's do roll call. John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
yes.
Town hall roof repair. We have two quotes that have been given to us. And we guys each a copy.
Well,
One is from Barnes Roofing. And he proposes to remove all shingle roofing on Mantua Township Town Hall, remove old chimney flashing and pipe boots, inspect, and nail decking, install ice and water shield 3 feet up. From the gutter line, install ice and water shield up and around the chimney, install new rhino synthetic felt underline to all decking, install new pipe boots, install new chimney flashing, install new starter shingles, install new wide stick drip edge to rake edges, install Owings, Corning, Duration, or Designer shingles with high wind application, cut back ridge, install new ridge ventilation, install new hip and ridge cap, seal all areas needed, Barnes Roofing will clean up and haul away all debris. Any wood needed will be $65 per sheet installed.
Is that the cupola too?
Not the cupola. The cupola, I think, was probably put on when we start getting quotes for the and then we had the quote from Hummel. Hummel's quote was roof, tear off existing roof, furnish and install underlayment, flashing vents, and ice guard, furnish and install roofing shingles. And his quote, well, let's go back to the quote first. Barnes' quote was $10,600. Hummel's quote was $13,040. And then he had another roof sheathing, $8,400. Kind of big.
What building is that?
This-
Okay.
Now, Barnes was awarded the salt shed. He did a very good job. Yep. Any questions on the two quotes?
No. You want a motion to give the
I do, but I want to add something to the motion. I want to make a motion to award Barnes Roofing roof replacement for $10,600 on the event that we get a email or written document from the Mantua Restoration Society that they will contribute $7,000 as promised. Mark, you okay with that?
I don't think there's anything that's been changed on that. Our next meeting will be next month.
Accept that.
Yes.
Does he second that? John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
And John, that doesn't have anything to do, you're not doing anything with the cupola
No,
at all?
I think what we're going to do with the cupola, and neither did Hummel's. Hummel's was just for the roof and the underlayment. The cupola is a whole different.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
The cupola was an additional
$8,000.
$8,640.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, was that the latest quote that
Yeah,
I gave you?
that was the quote from August 26, 2024. There was two quotes there. One was for prevailing wage, and one was without.
And
Right, I'm trying to recall because it was one that I gave you that talked about the cupola and the roof, and then I had him break it down into the individual parts.
Yeah, that's
So
what
what
this is.
Hummel said is that
Yeah, right.
that was the one to where it was aggregate. In other words, all three items would be, done. In other words, not to take, let's say, one or two of the items out of that list of three.
And I get that. And there was about 12 pages. This was just for the roof. Roof replacement and cupola repairs at the town hall. So their roof quote was $13,040.
Okay, that was parted out Of the
The
three
roof,
items.
and then roof sheeting, $8,400.
Right,
And then cupola, $86.40.
right. And all I'm saying is what Eric did is for budgetary purposes was to break those dollar amounts out, but it was still assumed to be the aggregate of all three. In other words, it wasn't to where you could do just the roof and not the cupola in the way he quoted it. It was just budgetary purposes of the individual items. So,
Well, here's the deal. So it's $10,600 for Barnes Roofing on the condition that that the Mantua Restoration Society will contribute that $7,000 that was promised. Now, if you don't, I mean, if you guys want to back out of that, that's fine. We're still going to fix the roof on this building.
understand.
It has to be done.
Understand. I was just trying to explain as to what Eric was doing when he did, is that he bid it aggregate, you know, all three items there. The cupola, the sheathing, and the re-roofing. And that the second bid to where he broke them apart was just for budgetary, so you knew out of the aggregate where the three parts went. And that it wasn't to be interpreted that you could only do the roofing part without doing the roof based on those dollar amounts.
And I get that. And the resolution was to award, not comparable, but to award Barnes Roofing the job to So we're all square on that.
Yeah, I'll bring it up to the team. And I don't foresee an issue, but we'll let you know. Is your email accounts working now?
Mine is not. I have my personal email, you can send anything you want to. Township knows not. John's is.
Okay.
Just send it to John, he'll forward it to us.
I'll send it to John and Julia,
Julia, yeah.
and then rely on them to
Yeah.
forward it over to you
Very
guys.
good. So just to be clear again, the resolution was to award Barnes Roofing on the condition that, and if you don't want to do it, that's fine. We're not holding it.
Mhm.
You offered it, we'll take it.
Right, we had said we had
Right,
criteria
and so
through it.
whether you go ahead with it or not, we're still going to have to replace the roof house.
Okay.
Okay? We all go with that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Chagrin River Watershed Partners. I know we talked about this in the past. We have such a small amount of Chagrin River here. But as I read there, what they're looking to do for us, it seems like if we use their grant writing and those things for $1,500, I don't know if you're going to get a better deal.
You won't.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know
And
Susan's
I
got
got
something to
right,
say.
John.
Because, no, because we went to the meetings. What do you want to give it another month? So we can read through the,
I have no problem just being done with it. I have no problem with authorizing us to go another year.
$13.
30.
If you're going to do a grant, yes.
I will get a hold of our alternate, see if she's still interested in going to the meetings. Boy, those meetings are so hard to go, to get to.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to extend the Sugar River Watershed Partners contract for the 2025 year.
I'll second that motion. An amount of $1,356.
$1,300.
$56. 0 cents.
No cents.
Great.
Matt, you second?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sue? Matt?
Pearson's survey sent us new charts for the new section at the west lawn. They're pretty good size. They're probably 3 by 4. So you can plot, it's all plotted out and everything. So I think to get one of those laminated. Okay.
Julie, do you have a resolution for the watershed?
07-25.
07-20. Thank you.
What's that?
Michigan Water.
The signboard, outdoor signboard we talked about. I called the company, I asked them if there was anybody in the Cleveland, Akron, Canton area that had any of their signs up. And they're looking to see if they have an order for something. Remember the ones with stainless steel? I haven't gotten any feedback from them, but we're still looking to get that. I haven't heard back for the sign for the historic marker out front. They're supposed to call us when they're going to come and pick it up. I haven't heard.
They said it was going to be in spring.
Yeah, are we picking up there? I noticed you got an invoice from Cable Elevator.
Yes.
I spoke to him, and he was supposed to have told the office that he was going to revise it. I will call him back. See, I think that's awful heavy charge for one inspection. Yeah. We still have $15,000 left in the NOPEC grant. We should start figuring out how we're going to spend that.
Maybe siding buildings.
Did we finish the Moore grant?
Yes, we got the municipal signs, more grants.
Do we have a update on the electrical service for the garage?
They are paid after they finally got an invoice in the system. I've talked to Seth several times. So it's on them to schedule it.
You pay Ohio is?
Yes. And I have to get our $900 back from a different department. Seth is the gentleman that they're working with on the new.
I want us to consider countertop, a new countertop in the annex, and a nice table in the middle, like a workstation that used to be there. 'Cause there's nowhere to put anything in there. You have to bring a folding table.
That'd be a good job for you.
I'd like to look into that. And then the table that the microwave sits on is all peeling apart because of all those. Correct. So I'd like to get some quotes on those three things.
Could we, where are we at with the food warmer?
I have no clue.
Hey,
Other than we authorized the bigger one.
right.
I don't know where
And we haven't
where it's
heard
going.
anything since then. We'll get a hold of Yvonne and see if they've talked to anybody yet. I think the holidays just got in the way.
What do you want to do with it? You want to just go over and measure, have someone measure it out?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it needs
It is
replacement.
falling apart.
Right, and
The thing's got to be a little bit back to it.
exactly, and that's what kills me about it. And that's why I don't like people leaving salt and pepper shakers or ketchup or anything behind. I want it all thrown away every time you have a party, throw it away.
Tim, do you have anybody in mind that can do that as well? Give us a quote.
For countertops?
New countertops and maybe get a new.
I want a new, like a workstation.
One of
Like
those
a
stainless,
semi.
a stainless steel,
Yes.
one from
Right in
the
the middle.
kitchen store.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at, yeah.
I don't really know anybody who does that.
You want to spearhead that?
Yeah.
I want to do-
Might check with Butchie, if you're gonna do a stainless steel. Butchie,
Oh, yeah.
Butchie should. He's in no hardware store.
Tim, Sue's going to spearhead that, so you get together if you know of anybody.
Okay.
We'll get some quotes. Yeah, that thing's looking bad over there.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll go look for, you want to get a hold of your own?
Yeah.
We'll go look for the more.
Wait, what were you talking about?
What is,
For the food
people
bar.
put food.
It's not there, we're going to get a new one.
Oh, okay. Because there was one there.
It was so small, you couldn't get
There was
pizza
one,
tray.
but it was bad.
Oh, okay.
You talking about the new one that was in there?
Well, there was one in there and,
Yeah.
what was her name? Michelle had a party there at Thanksgiving and I called her and I'm like, is this your food warmer? And she goes, no, I don't think so. So I put it in the box because,
You're the one that put it in the box. We
Yes.
Oh, you're the one.
couldn't figure out who put it in the box.
because
I'm glad you did.
she said it might be hers, and I'm like, well, there's a big craft show here Saturday, so I'm gonna put it in a box and put it in the room so nobody messes with it.
We bought it, put it up,
Oh, okay.
and you couldn't even put a tray in there.
You couldn't get that
You couldn't get that
laptop.
laptop in there, so it was worthless.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know who's,
But so we couldn't figure out who put it in the
I
box.
just didn't want anybody to break it.
So like Uline has a stainless steel table on wheels for $635.
How big?
Standard mobile stainless steel work table.
What's the dimensions?
72 by 30 with a bottom shelf.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there used to be a kitchen place in Akron, like, or
Building
Cleveland,
9 or whatever it was.
a commercial kitchen place where you could go get it. I would imagine that would be where you would want to start for something like that locally.
Anything else, guys? Do you have anything to add? Anything, Susan?
Oh, I did want to mention that Sandy Carm is going to donate a handicap picnic table to our pavilion. And it was really nice of her.
Oh, that's all I have, other than stuff in the session.
Public comment? Mr. Leaster, how are you?
I want to go your time, so we're doing this the proper way.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you're doing this the proper
All
way.
right.
So, there you go. All right. So we're officially,
So efficient here.
that's right. I made a fool of myself before in the past years, so. It's a good evening, Mr. Chairman and trustees.
Good evening to you, and happy New Year.
Okay, my name is Doris Slyster,
4072 Pioneer Trail, Mantua. I would like to address the Portage Park District monthly newsletter that I received January 2nd, 2025. I have several questions that I would like to bring to the trustees. I'd like to read the paragraph that concerns me. I've also included the map that was in the newsletter. And on the map, you'll see our township roads there. This is the paragraph. The Headwaters Trail Phase 8, located on the former railroad corridor between Chamberlain Road and Diagonal Road in Mantua Township, will begin construction in 2025 thanks to a $500,000 Clean Ohio Trails grant. Headwaters Trail Phase 9 has been awarded a $1 million federal grant for construction to be managed by ODOT in 2028 to safely connect trail users between Phase 7 and Phase 8 with a separated side path along the road right-of-way. When completed, trail users will be able to safely travel between Garrettsville and downtown Aurora. We want to hear how you and your family use the Headwaters Trail and any suggestions for your future improvements. So this is stating that the funds have been secured and ODOT will be managing the construction that will begin in 2028. My question, concerning the use of the road right-of-way, does the Portage Park District have the right to just come and use the right-of-way of my property? Or do they bring the project plans to Mantua Township trustees as Pioneer Trail and Mantua Center Road are township roads? These are the roads that border my property as I am at the intersection. I'm inquiring as to what the legal procedure entails. Has the Portage Park District approached the Mantua Township trustees with plans for the Headwater Trail Phase 9 project? If so, what has been presented? And where are they in the process? You have heard several times the concerns of those whose properties and lives will be affected by a bike and hike trail going through our yards. This is a matter of discussion for a later meeting. How can we as residents be made aware of any forthcoming meetings concerning this issue? Meetings where the Portage Park District may be in attendance at a trustee meeting. And as a neighborhood, we will be having a meeting to voice our concerns and keep everyone abreast of what is happening. Thank you.
I'd like to answer a couple of those questions. Number one, the park has not contacted us in any regard on their project. Number two, the township owns the right-of-way. And that right-of-way is for utilities and those types of things. So we have...
Why is it right-of-way?
It's different. In Mantua Township, it's all kinds of... We could find that out with Pioneer Trail. And Pioneer Trail could have 2 or 3 different...
A letter that the Park District did send out to us in the summer, it was basically, and they had the picture, I should have brought it all. They had a picture showing the right-of-way of the road, and they had, how many feet, how many, whatever.
Their pathway is 10 foot wide, and with I think drainage on either side of 3 foot. There's no way in heck that we even have that much room.
But my point is, in their newsletter, it sounds like it's a go, it's a plan. Here's the money, here's the map, and it shows our roads, and ODOT's going to manage it, and it's going to start in 2028.
Okay, Doris, I think it's in a file at home, or maybe in stack here. We touched on this before.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so when they originally come out to discuss Chamberlain Road to Aurora, okay? They also briefed us at a township trustees meeting about connecting the trail here. Didn't say how they were gonna connect it, and the trustee said, yeah, we were in agreement with that at that time, but we didn't know how they were gonna connect it. It was just kind of like a spring off or an offspring of the original conversation from Chamberlain to Aurora. However, that being said, I don't think there's one trustee in this room that is in favor of them coming down our road right away, down Mantua Center Road to Pioneer Trail. I also got legal advice from the prosecutor's office and Chad Murdoch stating that we are in charge of our right of way, not the state of Ohio. Unless there's a loophole in the law someplace, that's the reading in the briefing that I got from Portage County Prosecutor's Office, Brett Metz. Okay, and our legal advisor as well is Chad Murdoch. And I have that in writing. I'm going to check in this policy if it's in this file. If not, it's in the file at all. But
And
they
we've
gave their
all,
legal opinion, so I don't know where it's
we've all laid low of that, but this is their newsletter that came out,
Right?
you know, all across Ohio.
When did you get that?
January, this was posted, it came on my email. As soon as all this started, I immediately went to Portage Park District, signed up for all their emails, newsletters, everything. So I know what was going on. And this is the email that came. I opened it on, I think it was January 2nd. I received it in my email, and right there, and it has right here dotted right away, but it says, it's telling everybody they have the $1 million federal grant for this. ODOT's gonna manage it. It's gonna start in 2028.
They would have to do a notice to all the property owners on that and do certified mail and stuff
Yeah.
before they can do anything.
And that's why we're just asking.
Right. No, I just
And that's why, and what happened was, we as a community found out by accident of a BZA meeting about the variant, you know, Aurora was coming after Mantua Township. We want your township property to do this. We'll pay for it, maintain it. We're stepping into your township. If you don't say yes, we'll take you to court. And that's when we packed this place. And usually that doesn't happen. Residents don't know it's happening till the plan is made, it's set to go, and they let you know, and they started, and there's nothing you can do. And so we found out by accident. Well, it wasn't by accident. And there are just so many concerns. And right now, when you drive down Pioneer Trail and Mantua Center, we've all taken care of our ditches and our water problems. We're like a low floodplain and so forth. We flooded out, 13 years ago, and it took out Pioneer Trail, took out Veterans Dam, you know, flooded our basements. We're a low whatever. So as people ourselves, we have taken care of our own water problems. Just from the road to my house is a 6-foot drop incline. So if they come in and start messing with my ditch, you look at the ditches, here's the road, and everybody's got them tapered in their own culverts and catch basins that we've done ourselves. So how are they gonna do that? They're gonna rip all the trees out on Mantua Center Road, and that's an embankment. The trees are holding that dirt and holding the bank up.
Yeah, of course, I don't know if they can. That's
Well, that's what I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is when Robin contacted me,
Right.
I said, hey, I'll call the prosecutor's office and get a ruling on it. And that's what they come back and said, no, it's your right of way. You have the right to say there's no right.
And we know where you all stand.
Yeah.
You represent us as a community, and we all know that Mantua Center Road is a very, very dangerous truck route.
It is.
I'll tell you exactly where I stand. I wouldn't want that to come through my front yard, let alone my side yard.
Both
I
my
don't
side
think
yard and my front yard.
Correct, I understand, right. I don't think that's fair.
It's not right. But you-
Not in your front yard.
And then I'll let you go. If you get down to Dasco's house, the yellow house there, I think Wendy Carlton had kind of measured it out. They would just be 25 feet from their bedroom and their bathroom windows.
On the flip side of that, I will tell you that I like the hike and bike trail. I think it's
Yes.
a good thing for the community. It's a great tool to have for the community. I do that.
Yes.
It's nice to network all that, but on the flip side of that, it's not fair to go through somebody's front yard either.
Right.
So,
So I was just wondering if they have approached you because they're telling the community this is a plan and so forth. So just wondering, or
yeah.
if they do contact you to come and present plans or present something, how can us as a community, as a neighborhood, know there would
We'll
be
get
a
the word
meeting?
out, trust me. We'll get the word out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, just again, for the record.
No.
extra copy of that?
Right.
Oh, here, you can have,
I have some recommendations for Dolores. 25, 30 years ago, I'd done some digging on Pioneer Trail for one of the residents. And I had to go from power line in, and I was only allowed to dig so many feet deep. And Buckeye Pipeline was there watching me.
even now, just to
Well,
put a
when I'm-
dog fence in, they have to be there.
What I'm suggesting, maybe you get a hold of Buckeye, because their line is on Pioneer Trail.
We have that high gas line under there too.
That is what I'm
Yes,
referring
yes.
to. So this hike and bike is above it.
Right,
Now, they gotta have access to that line, they gotta repair it, so I would suggest getting a hold of Buckeye to let them know what's going on,
okay.
as a suggestion.
I mean,
We
as-
say, we say, I've been here 14 years.
Mhm.
From the beginning, we've said no to the park. It's recorded, and we do not want them to access our right.
Can they usurp that anyway? Can they
No,
come
there's
and
been-
go to court?
There's been court actions, even in Youngstown, they had, where they wanted to come through people's yards and they fought. So, we will use our attorney and we'll make sure that our right-of-way stays our right-of-way.
There's too many residents upset.
But
Our
just think of
community-
it is a safety issue. You have a winding road here, it is narrow, and it is, I mean, I don't know what they would plan on doing. I mean, I'm sure they got their I's dotted and their T's crossed, I'm sure. But I just don't know how they can legally do that.
They're
to someone.
asking for someone to get hit by a semi.
Yeah, they are.
I would like to suggest also, when they put the roundabout in up there, the state took part of the bar's property. She negotiated with the state in her parking lot so that she gave or sold so much of her property. And if it comes down to it, legally, you may be able to negotiate with this park district, maybe for fencing, blocking,
Right.
keeping the people out of the yard. It's something to keep in mind down the road. Because we don't want this, but you don't know what the better powers are gonna tell you. Especially you got the federal government involved.
I do know that Wendy Carlton did have Chris Craycroft, that's the executive park director, and their park project person, Nick, come out, and she drove them around in her vehicle and showed her all these things. And she was asking questions, like if you're ripping up my yard here, and you're ripping up my ingots and all this, are you gonna replace all this? And she said, no.
Now, see, I heard the opposite. When
Now,
they-
see, we've heard different stories.
Yeah,
And they're talking out of both sides of their
right, with
mouth.
Heather and
Yeah.
Jerry, when they were negotiating with Heather and Jerry Carlton, they were gonna give them, because that was Heather's concern. Hey, I'm out my backyard and I got people going through there, I mean, am I gonna have bushes, a fence or whatever? And they said they would do whatever the Carltons at that time, I didn't see it in writing, but that's what they said. And the Carltons said the same thing, that they offered to do whatever they wanted to do to get their privacy.
And during this last snow, I went out there and I took pictures. We had 80,000-pound loaded semi. And we made that's gravel pit land there that was never reclaimed. So that, it's good solid. And so we made our drives and our aprons to accommodate that. So your bike trail's going right through that. It'll be ripped up in no time. When you're plowing your snow, anybody who plows snow, we can't plow our snow across the road We don't do that. We pile it. You know, there's just so many things.
Pile it on a bike tree when they can't use it.
And well, we talk about a lot of things. But we're saying,
Hey, Doris, to move on, we give you our assurances that we will stand fast.
And if we hear
And if we
anything,
hear anything, we certainly, and I thought that the residents were going to have some kind of a meeting.
we laid low on all that to see what was going. But we do have a meeting planned in a couple weeks for the residents. We're gonna get together. I think one board member might be invited, so somebody knows what's going on, so it's not an official meeting.
Right.
And we've left it low because Chris Crawford told Wendy, well, we haven't had any complaints or emails from anybody complaining. So we're going to start raising our voices a little.
Very good, it's all.
And I get that, but how can they do that without contacting us in our right of way? That's my question.
That's why I'm here today, just to ask, did I miss anything? Have they contacted you? Because they're telling the public, this is the plan right here.
Well, who do they choose who they contact? If they were in contact with Carl's, and they weren't in contact with you or me, because I have property.
That was the railroad bed. They were discussing the railroad bed. This is going through our property.
So it's two different situations. Okay.
It was,
phases.
the original phase grant, they want to go down through Mark Butler's property.
Right.
Which you said absolutely no. So Chris contacted me and said, would I contact the Carltons, which would be Jerry and Heather, and Mark.
Okay.
So I go there and I talked to Mark, and he said, yep, it's for sale, they can buy it for $5 million, they can do what they want with it. I said, okay, that's what I'll tell them, you know. He said, I'm starting to give stuff away, and I understand that, I get it, you
It's
know.
a business.
You can only give so much, you know. And then Heather and Jerry had disagreed, but then they came to an agreement to allow them to go through.
But that was the railroad bed, not the right of way.
Yeah, right.
Not the
Well,
right
it's
of
two
way.
different.
You're exactly right, Clay. Exactly.
All right,
Okay.
so we'll keep each other apprised.
Yeah, but just because it's out there all over the county, all over,
Don't sweat at this point.
Okay, very
I
good.
mean, we know that, but for the record.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
So, for the record.
Great. Frank Cora, you are next.
Nothing at this time.
Mark Hall, you are next.
Our next dinner is tomorrow from 4 to 7. We're going to have lasagna, chili, mixed vegetables, chicken soup, and potato soup, and various salads and desserts and whatnot. I did mention to Tim when I picked up the keys about the dumpster lock, and I checked it tonight before the meeting. It is frozen up solid. So the question comes up, if it's frozen tomorrow night, can we close up? What do I do with the trash?
What's wrong, the lock on this?
Well, I could look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, just unlock it tomorrow. Dump all it out, leave it unlocked.
Okay, I tried it. Tim mentioned he's got a benzomatic thing that we use to heat it up and such.
Yeah.
And I suggested maybe a shot of WD-40 to displace the moisture.
Graphite or something.
Or
Yeah, they got that DS line.
whatever with that. So the other thing, Sue, you made a comment about things being left behind. I know in the past we have bought, let's say like soap detergent, scrubbing pads and whatnot, just either left them on the sink or put them in the cupboard. Is that acceptable to you guys? You know, everybody uses them, you know, they're common things.
Cleaning supplies, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's the food. I just don't want the salt. I don't want ketchup. I don't want pop left. Anybody can mess with it.
Okay,
Just
just wanted a quick point of clarity on that,
garbage.
because I know that there was also.
No ice. Throw the ice away.
Okay. Because there were a couple of, and I think they're still over there, a couple of,
Did you see how much ice was in there?
what do you call them? They're the outlet, you know, 5 outlets.
Oh,
on it,
yeah.
Power
essentially.
strips?
That's fine. It's just food.
Okay.
Anything that people can put in their mouths.
Okay. The other thing that you mentioned earlier, you talked about how still 315. If you folks decide to go to just putting it on the website, would you entertain the thought of making your website a subscription-based? So if I was to subscribe to the public notice area, when you publish a public notice, that anybody that's on the subscription list could get an email?
Okay, I could look into that. I would not have a problem, because you could send out 1,000 emails with just.
Yeah, something that you
Yeah, you know,
subscribe to,
And again, we are looking for the bulletin board as well, so people that don't have a computer could actually ride up to see it posted out front, which was supposed to, you know, that's what we're supposed to do.
right, because I saw the newspaper.
For us,
and I read
Mark,
the
for us to spend a couple $100 for an ad in the Kent Record Courier, as many people as I talk to, they're telling me, you know, we don't get that paper.
newspaper.
Right? I mean, we don't have the community journal anymore. We don't. I think the only one left is Village. Yeah, and they rarely know.
You have to have it in.
Yeah,
That's your police department.
Yeah, if you just explore that.
No, but I will, Matt. Mark. That's good. I'll see what I can do about it.
Okay.
And then I know, again, an email would be perfect, but there's always the Facebook page, there's always the website, so it's only a matter of a couple of minutes it takes to post that on anything, but that's the way it's going now. I mean, pretty sure the post office is going to be out of business. Yeah, so,
Medical private.
yeah, so,
And then look what happens to your rates then.
but,
I'm still, when you say, first I'm still old school, I do the newspaper thing.
right,
The next best thing would be is if, when you say if you go to subscription-based kind of thing, then, you know, you could apply it to.
no, I get it, I take your suggestion.
Okay. And the last question that I had is, you folks changed your meeting time to 6 from 7. Was curious of method of madness here.
Was there a method of madness?
I'm just curious as to why it's been 7 o'clock for ages.
It was 7:30 for ages, then it went to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, back up.
I can tell you why part of that is because, well, back in the day, I mean, you guys used to be out here by 9 o'clock. Now we get out here at 10:30, so, I mean, it's winter time, you know, it's 6 o'clock. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Speed it up a little bit?
I'm just curious.
No, I'm just telling you.
At his age, he needs to be in bed by now.
That's right, exactly right.
All of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I resemble that anymore. When I'm at 9 o'clock, I'm already getting.
That's all right.
No, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your suggestion. I do. Oh, one more thing for you. Do you have the new sign up? We gave you permission for the new 4x4
It's
sign.
on order.
Oh, it's on order, so you don't have a sign?
No, we haven't got it down.
And what are you going to do? Isn't there another sign that you had?
We were also looking at doing the sign for the historic district.
Yeah.
There'd be 4 points, 2 on 82 and 2 on Mantua Center. And probably later this spring, we're probably going to start looking into that because the first company that we talked to, those are not inexpensive either. If you've noticed the signs that Aurora has, they're historic districts. If you've seen those, I believe it's the same company, but those are around $2,200 to $2,600 for that. And so, you know, we've got a little shopping to do. They also offer services with the one company that we originally talked to, that they would actually work with, let's say, ODOT, as far as putting it in the road right away, you know, those kinds of things. But we don't know what those costs are involved with that. So, you know, it's still on our plate of things to look at, but we wanted to focus on the first one there on the historic district. And history plaque. We want to get that up and going. And last we all talked on that, the township would help in getting that installed and put up as such.
All right, Mark, that's what I wanted to ask you. And, okay, whatever you need from the township, I'm happy to consider. Okay, thank you very much. Tim?
Yeah, I have a question about the, I don't know anything about this schooling property. Like, what is, like, did the township buy it?
Yes.
Like, how, what is it?
It's a house.
It's the house and the property that encompasses our other property. The last house on School Lane.
The White House.
The white,
With the green shutters.
Kathy Cal.
yeah, Kathy Kelly passed away. She directed us to, prior to her, she was very sick. So prior to her passing, she agreed to sell the township the property through her trust.
How many acres is it?
6.6.
So it goes,
So it goes to the cemetery.
all the way to the
So it goes to the property on School Lane, and it goes to west to the cemetery, and then south to 82. There's a strip of land that actually has access to 82.
okay.
And it goes all the way around that property of the school. So it was a no-brainer. And the house itself is in very, very nice shape.
Oh, it is? Well, I heard you say you're putting 2 offices in there.
Yes.
Is that the White House right up by the road?
No, it's right next to the school.
School.
Parking lot.
It's on School Lane.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll have to-
Tim, I don't think anything would be your responsibility in the building.
No, we haven't talked about any of that yet. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't asking for that, I didn't
One of the
know what it
windows.
was.
No, I don't understand
your responsibilities.
No, Tim, I know you were.
Yeah, no, you gotta go there and claim too.
No.
No, I know you were. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Landscaping is a total disaster. But we gotta get the township up to 2025. We have to have an office. We have to have someplace where people can go and access our zoning inspector, access our fiscal office.
Isn't there a garage there too?
There's a nice garage, there's a garage and there's a lean garage in the back. The garage has a loft, I've never been up there.
It also has a heated floor, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That was a clear.
You ordered it out.
Yeah. It's got a generator.
Yep.
And so, we gotta get the ladies out of the basement. We can't have it. It's
Of
time.
course, I don't have it, I have it at home, and I'll get you copies of that.
It's time.
I'll get you copies of
What it was.
that.
Whatever you're
I'll
available,
get you
if you
copies
want
of
to
that.
guys want to
I
go
don't have it
look.
with me. But I'll get
You
you
are
copies
township
of that.
official, so-
I'm saying that
Okay.
we don't know what it is. The township does. I think I gave a copy to,
Thanks.
I emailed.
Tom, one thing I
You know, you're all-
the 2 offices that we were planning on putting in there is fiscal officer and zoning inspector?
Yes,
Okay,
for now.
okay.
Yeah, and eventually. So, yeah, we got lots of work to do. We got opportunities to acquire historic property to, it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Matt, well, yeah, you instrumental.
Is that a century house?
That house was built in 1856.
Wow.
Well, that's what the county has it listed. I believe it was earlier than that. I believe that house was probably built in 1835.
Is there a plaque on it, like,
No. Dave Powell.
Yeah, not everybody has a computer or a smartphone, and I know a lot of people that have neither one and don't want neither.
understand it'll save you $200 every time you have to advertise a special meeting, right?
No, special meetings aren't 200. They cost.
Okay. Anyhow, it's going to cut a lot of people out that do get the paper, so that they can keep up with what the government is doing. And I realize you guys didn't initiate this, but more and more people are becoming second-class citizens because the assumption is that, well, everybody has a computer. You know, we're 15, 20 minutes away from the fourth largest Amish community in the world. They don't have computers. You know, there's a lot of people out there. And we're getting Amish now moving into the township. That's just one little bit. But I mean, there are plenty of us Yankees that don't have a computer, really don't care about one, and would rather pay the money for the paper than get it. That's just one thing. Whenever you get this sign repaired out here, this historic marker, I'd like to suggest that in order to prevent any future acts of vandalism against any of these signs, that maybe the township could put up security cameras to watch. It might not prevent it, but at least you know who did it. Those signs are expensive. And whenever we go someplace, we look for those signs, wherever we can, we pull off and read them. There's an awful lot of history in this state that if the vandals have their way and people decide it's not worth putting them up, it just adds some ignorance all the way around. And one other thing, I didn't want a sewer line across my front, but I got it. I didn't have anything to say about it because it's in the road right of way. And a road right of way, you give up certain things when you give up that right of way. This bike trail, this is a detour, what they're talking about. I haven't read the whole thing, I haven't looked at it, but from what Doris said, it's going to be a detour around the properties of the people who most vociferously argued against it and said they didn't want it. So it's going to be on the public road right away. It would be just like, the only road I know of in this township that you would have trouble adding a bike lane along the side is Chamberlain, because it is so damn narrow that, you know, it's hard to haul the equipment up that road. But any of these other roads, you can add a bike lane without a problem. And that's basically what I think they're talking about doing. They're not going through people's front yard. They're going across in front of the house, just like the sewer line did. And if the sewer line had to go through people's front yards all the way along, I doubt that you would have had it in there. But it didn't. It went down the road right away. And that's what this is proposing to do as a safety measure, so that people aren't going to have to walk or bike right on the road itself.
Well, for my research, I have known that the Park District needs a 10-foot wide path.
Yeah,
And plus 3 feet on each side for drainage. Because you have to get the water off.
yeah.
There's no place on Pioneer Trail that where the right-of-way is wider than 13 feet. As a matter of fact, if you put 13 feet from the end of the asphalt into someone's property, it's going to exceed the right-of-way. There's no way that you can. What are you going to do? Just take people's property?
Nowhere did she mention, did I hear mention of how wide this bypass, this detour, is going to be.
They sent us a map,
I
and
just told you.
and it has the
it's-
dimensions there, it shows.
It's a law for the National Park System that you have to have a 10-foot wide paved path for a bike and bike trail.
And then
plus-
it's 3 feet on each
Plus 3
side.
feet on each side.
Down 82, 700 out of Highland, 82 and a half to Garrison. And you'll see a bike lane.
Right.
Okay? It takes people right around, and it's only no more than 4 to 6 feet wide. Okay? It's not in the park district. This is not going to be in the park district. This is going to be in the public road right of way.
So the park's gonna take a 10-foot wide
No,
path and then convert it into a 3-foot.
it's going to be a bike path, just like you have all over the place.
I'm not here to dispute you. Here's the deal. The trustees do not want a bike path on our right of way.
The reason a lot of
That's
us,
it. I can't explain it any different.
I understand you don't want that, okay, you were more than happy with that.
I'm doing that because, I'm doing that because the residents are asking us.
if I could add one thing, my understanding is, when I tried to research right-of-way, the right-of-way is for the community, your sewer lines, your electric lines, your utilities, but they're under the ground and they're not infringing on my privacy, my security, my whatever. The bike and hike trail, the goal is that people eventually in Cleveland get on your bike trail. And the goal is to bring people from the city out here into the rural community for their mental health, for their enjoyment. Right now, if you were to come to my property, it's quiet. That corner is quiet except for truck traffic you're used to and farm tractors. We have 2 girls who run. We know who they are. They know our dogs. They know they're not, they're in a fence. There's no harm. 2 people run. The only cyclists on those roadways are the guys that, with the $4,000 bikes that are cycling down the road into town. They're not going to use the bike trail. Our thing is, our community is quiet. Each neighbor stays to themselves, but if you have a problem or a need, your neighbor's there to help you. We like our privacy in the rural community, and when you have city folk invited, come, get on the trail, walk your dogs, run. People that don't have that rural mentality, and if they don't understand semis, flying by at 25 miles an hour, an 80,000-pound truck, and they're not used to that wind, the sound, the noise, you're going to have people scared and jerking their bikes and ending up hit by a vehicle. Especially when you have 2 semis passing, or cement mixers, or asphalt trucks. Even though our loads are tarped, you're still kicking up stuff off the road. You're asking for a fatality. But right now, there's nobody on Mantua Center and Pioneer Trail.
And it's not, Doris, it's not just in front of your house. We spent a good amount of money trying to widen Mantua Center Road toward Pioneer. Right, and it's still not wide enough when you have 2 semis passing.
But we know, we've lived here, we know. The locals know, you're careful, you know. And we're careful, but when you have outsiders who aren't used to this coming in, is where you're going to have a problem, and then who's going to be liable?
No, we get on that.
Anyways, that's, as a community member, that's where we come from.
So, let's get off the subject.
Sure, sorry about that.
Okay, Doris, that's the argument that people like me have made since 1950. It doesn't do any good. People from the city are still coming out. They don't know about private property. They think if there's not a house every 50 feet, it's vacant land, it's open to everybody. Now, you don't have that problem there because you got houses treat like all down the road. But that's still the argument. We don't need people coming out from the city, but we've got the interstates, which are made to evacuate the cities. And they're very good at that because they're coming out here.
Why don't they put this on Portage County property? Why is it always on the township? Why does the township have to do that?
You know, the county road down there, said I.
Well,
So you take it down there, they take it down there, right, and then you gotta come back up the township road anyway.
okay. We're done.
I really wish you should consider security cameras on these historic properties.
I will.
It's a good idea, Dave. Should be on all.
I am going to order a security system for the new offices, and I will order a camera, because we have the Wi-Fi, we have, and most of this equipment now is cellular anyway, so. Okay, very
There
good.
are two signs out front now, you know that.
We have,
Make that motion, authorize you to do that, get a camera.
We don't want us.
do we have?
We'll make a
I
motion.
thought we did.
For a camera?
No, for the security system. For the house.
No,
Do you need one for the camera for the?
No, I'll just get an extra camera for the security system.
okay.
Hook it right up.
Okay.
We have a executive session to go into, but before we do, I got one question. We have the speed signs.
Yes. Yep. Put them up.
I don't know if we're going to do it now, but.
No, right, that's right.
But do you know, can you give me the places that we want to put?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do they?
Bowen Road.
Bowen Road where?
Pine Trail, Bowen Road, right, yeah.
By the schools?
Yeah, by the school entrance. Okay, same thing on Pine Trail. Okay. And then one on Mantua Township. We're going to have to discuss whether we want either one here or one coming from this direction, you know, coming from the south to the north. If you want to do one down by the curb. But there's definitely got to be one in that corridor.
So I'll leave that up to you,
Yeah.
Susan, because I know she wants to protect that pavilion.
Yes.
And I think that it's going to take you, you'll gain more speed coming this way.
Yeah, they come, and they come flying by there.
Are we good with that?
So down in front of Jerry Bogner's house or someplace down there, you know.
Now, are these things on posts, and we have?
We have to get the post, and I would not get a fence post, I would get a ground post like a. Not like a stop sign post, like a fence right now.
Okay. Make a motion to go into executive session under 122 public meeting exceptions to consider the appointment, employment, discipline, dismissal, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Second, yeah, Mr. Vincent, Chairman.
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
No, go ahead. Ready?
I don't like to know.
Okay, I'll make a motion to return to regular session.
Second, Your Honor.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Okay, make a motion to increase the secretary for the BZA to $250 a month.
Second.
Hold on. Retroactive to, we can, it's January. Yeah, January 1st.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Hold on a second, I think this, hold on one second. I don't know if the camera went back on, but let's start from the beginning. Make a motion to return to regular session.
Yes, second.
Jeff? JF. I go JF.
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt? Can we start that over?
Yes.
Okay. And I make a motion to increase the BCA secretary to $250 per month, retroactive January 1st.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to appoint Dave Pollard to be alternate to zoning commission for a period of 1 year ending on December 31st, 2025.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Matt?
Yeah.
I make a motion to pay all the bills for January 1st, 2025.
Second.
John,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'll second that.
You guys are great.
John,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Matt.
Abstain?
Yes.
You can stay.
Good job, everybody. We are adjourned.